Okay, this is lecture 2 of my jQuery course. So what did we do last lesson? That's what we're going to look at first. Then we're going to look at adding behavior. We're going to look at the click function and mouse over. We'll look at navigation. We might have time to look at animation navigation. And then Ajax. Not sure if we're going to make it to that. Okay, so in the last lecture, I talked about the strapline, write less, do more. So it's a very compact language. jQuery is a JavaScript library. It's not magic. It's just part of, it's all written in JavaScript. It makes writing JavaScript easy and it smooths out browser incompatibility. So that's the headlines. We talked about loading jQuery. So typically we will load it from a CDN. You can have it locally if you like, but it's nice to get it from another place. So we can download the CDN. If we get it from a CDN, then there's a good chance it'll already be in the user's cache, in which case, because it's very common, there's no cost really. This is the ready function, so we say dollar and then we give an anonymous function inside the dollar function, and this function here will kick off when the document is loaded. Okay, so we've got, okay, all right, let's take a look at our first example. Let me find you the files. So we've got 3 files. This is typical. We've got timetable.htm, we've got timetables.js and timetables.css. So HTML contains the HTML, and here you can see I haven't done CDN. I'm loading a local copy of the jQuery library. That's here. So these are the files. We'll get to these later maybe, but these are the files we're looking at right now. This is the library. Let's take a quick look at it. Oh, can you see there? It is 89.2 kilobytes. So it's like the size of a very small image. It's no big deal. I think the full library is a bit bigger than that these days. It's probably an old version. Okay, so I've got my 3 files, timetable HTML, timetable CSS, timetable JS, and what does that look like? I've got that loaded into Chrome, and here it is. So here it is. I quite like this layout. So it's kind of an academic timetable. This is a big table, and this is a little table. And what's happening is these students are studying 3 modules, HCI, ISO, and software development. And so all of these students' week is the same every week, and they're doing the same thing week in, week out, studying these 3 modules. Okay, so this is working with HTML. I'm imagining that someone else has generated. So you've got control of the JavaScript, but you don't really have control over the HTML. This is a situation I find myself in fairly commonly. Someone else has written the HTML, and I want to add something to that HTML using jQuery, using JavaScript. Okay, so timetable includes a reference to timetable.js, and that's here. And at the moment, this is my body function. Nothing's in it, but it does run. How can we convince ourselves it runs? Well, we'll make something change color. So here's a bit of CSS to make something change color. There are th nodes inside a hash key field. Let's take a look at that. So here's my HTML. I think this table here is called key. Let me just inspect it. So I selected the an H node. That H node is in a TR. The TR is in a T body. And can you see there that table has got ID key? So when I do $hash key, that'll select the table. When I do $hash key space th, that'll select all 3 th nodes, 1, 2, 3 in here, and I'm going to make them go red. Let's just do that. So dollar quote, so that's hash key is the ID, and space th is that. So that selected those 3 nodes, and I can change their color. Font color is red. Actually, I've done that. I'm not sure if I need the word font. Do I need the word font? No, I don't. It's not font color, it's just color. So save that, reload this guy. Oh, there we go, they've gone red. Okay, so I've kind of proved that I can do stuff. I'm not using CSS. I could have done that in CSS, but I've chosen not to. If I'd done a line like this, yeah, I could have said hash key th font color red. I've done it in jQuery. Okay, that's not terribly impressive because that's something that I could do with static CSS. Okay, so what happened was this thing here selected the th nodes inside key, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Okay, yeah, this is quite useful actually. So instead of doing CSS with a pair like that, I can give a whole bunch of things. So background minus color is what you'd usually use in CSS. You can't put a minus in here. And so camel casing, the separate words, is a shortcut. Let me show you that. So I don't want just to change the color to red. I want white to be black and black to be white. Okay, so I can say background minus color is black and color is red. I don't even remember, but I mentioned that you don't have to quote these things here. If I put a minus sign in, you do. Okay, so background minus color without the quotes would give me a syntax error. The other alternative is to actually quote them. That should be a teeny bit bigger so we can see the whole thing. Let's save that and reload. So we've lost that red. Oh, not red. That should be white. Black on red. That looks horrible. Save that and reload. Okay, so that's black on white. No, white on black. Okay, the alternative is I could say background color. So if I camel case it like that, it does the same thing. Reload. But if I don't quote, if I do minus color like that, that will give me a syntax error. Save that and reload. And I get uncaught syntax error. It tells me where it is. But yeah, don't do that. Okay, so I can do static CSS type things in jQuery. Let's move on. Okay, I can use the dollar function to create nodes. So what I want to do is put in a little tag, a little field, so that if you click on it, it'll hide that key. Okay, so in the first week, the students don't know that HCI stands for Human Computer Interaction, or ISO stands for Information System Organization, and so forth. And so this key field here is useful when the students first see it, but generally speaking, they don't need to see that. They will learn pretty quickly what ISO and SD mean. So this thing here is taking up space and we don't really need it. Let's give the students a way to hide that. Okay, so I'm going to put in a new node. So dollar, this is a div, and its text is hide key. Okay, and if I do that, then nothing apparently happens. Reload. You can see nothing got put in. It only becomes visible if I do append to something like a body. Okay, so save that and reload. Now you can see hide key there, it shows up. So what I want to do is when I click on that, I want this key to vanish. Okay, a couple of ways of doing that. I could say dot click, and I can give this a function. I don't like what happened there. Why is that red and that's blue? Don't know. Function, ba-dum. Okay, so what I want to happen when the user clicks on that, that's worrying me that that's changed color. That definitely looks green. Can't think why that would be. Okay, what I want is this thing here to vanish. The easiest way to make that vanish is to find the thing. We remember that it has got ID key, and I can just say hide. Not hode, hide. Save and reload. Okay, when I click on hide key, boom, it's gone. Fantastic. It's kind of gone forever. It seems a shame. I can't make it come back again. Well, I could make it come back again. What I could say, instead of hide, I could say toggle. Love that word, toggle. Toggle means if it's on, turn it off. If it's off, turn it on. Let's reload. And I can click on hide key, and I can click on hide key again. That's what a toggle is. If it's off, it turns it on. If it's on, it turns it off. Good. Okay. Don't like where this hide key is showing up. A couple of things that's wrong with it is when I click on it, it moves because the element above it disappeared. And also it's down here. I would like it to be just above where it says key. So I want this thing here, I want it to appear above the key. Well, there's jQuery for that. Instead of saying append to, I think I can say it's either insert, you either say before or you say insert before. I think it's insert before hash key. So that, I think, will put it in just before this key table. Save that and reload. Yeah, there it is. It's shown up just before the key table. Insert before. Okay, we've broken a few rules. Something that you can click on, you've got to give people a clue that you can click on it. And the best way to do that, or one of the ways of doing that, is to give it a bit of CSS. So I could say CSS, and it's cursor. So I can say cursor is pointer. Save that and reload. And now, can you see as my mouse goes over, it becomes a pointer that gives the user a clue that you can click on it. We might want to make it blue as well. So color blue, blue being the traditional click me color. So reload, that's more attractive. People want to click on that. You could underline it, you could do all sorts of things. So hide key, that's much more clickable, if you know what I mean. So users are likely to see that. What else? One of the things we've done here is to, when we change the page layout without a refresh, it's kind of nice to put in some animation just to draw the user's attention to the fact that you've changed something. And I think I can say toggle slow. And if I toggle slow, I think it'll put in some animation. Let's just try it. Yeah, it kind of disappears and then reappears. Didn't like that very much. Don't ever use slow. If you're going to animate fast. Unless you're showing off to show how clever you are. There we go. I don't like the way it kind of, can you see the table kind of narrows before it's narrow. I'm showing you with my hands, you can't see. As it animates, it gets narrower. It doesn't look very nice, especially if we're at this size, then the scroll bar appears momentarily. There's a way to fade it, but I'm not going to show you that. But we could fade. It would be better to fade on a table like this. Okay, hide key. Okay, so that's just hide key. When I hide the key, if you're hidden a key, the next thing is not hide key, but show key. So what I really should do is if the thing is hidden, this should say show key. If it's visible, then it's okay for it to say hide key. So I actually like this thing to change its text. How can I do that? Well, this is what happens when it clicks. So sorts of things I could do. I could say if the text is hide key, then change it to show key. And if the text is show key, then change it to hide key. That would work. To do that, I've got to find out what the text is right now. Okay, to find out what the text is right now, well, one way to do it is to give this thing an ID. So the thing that you clicked on. So I could put in here, that's set in the CSS, that's set in the text. If I give it an ID as well, I am going to change these. I'm going to move all these things down. So I'm setting the text, I'm setting the CSS, and I'm also going to set the ID. ID is a clicky thing. All right, so the clicky thing that you click on. Okay, so what I could say is, when you come to click it, we toggle it, and then we say if $, hash clicky thing. If the text of that equals hide key, get it exactly right. If it equals hide key, then what I'm going to do is set the text of clicky thing, copy that to show key. And if that wasn't the case, then I'm going to set this to hide key. So whatever it used to be, make it the opposite. Let's save that and reload. Okay, so it says hide key, I click on it, and now it says show key. And I click on it, and it says hide key. Wonderful. So the message changes with the object. That's a stupid name, clicky thing. I don't want to call this thing clicky thing. I don't want to call it anything. I hate coming up with names. What I'm going to do is instead of clicky thing, I'm not going to call it clicky thing. Stupid name. What I'm going to do is refer to this. Okay, now $this is the thing that you're clicking on right now. So if I'm in the click function, $this is the thing that you just clicked on. So I can replace those references to clicky thing to this, and that is dead handy. So this means the thing that you're acting on right now. So save that and reload, and it works just the same as it did before. Okay, we'll have another video next where we'll do some more interactive stuff.